It's been several months, but finally Lazy Buchanan's out. Abraham Lincoln is in. Hello and welcome to another episode of Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me as always is Prospector Johnny. And Prospector, it's Inauguration Week! We've made it! Lincoln's in the office!
Buchanan can finally go do nothing somewhere else.
Somewhere else, yeah, exactly. A brief recap, if you're just joining us here, we've ended the month of February. We saw the creation of the Confederate States of America. They have appointed a president,
right?
Davis, who was appointed with no votes.
Nobody voted.
A dozen incidences of states seizing federal property, including states that did not secede.
Yeah, with no repercussions.
With no repercussions, no shots fired in their direction, nothing, not even a, hey, can you please stop? Lincoln has finally made his way into Washington, D.C. He's not in office just yet, but he will be there this week, spoiler. Buchanan continues to do nothing, and Fort Sumter is becoming a sticking point in South Carolina, and kind of left out to hang dry because the Union isn't really doing a whole lot to reinforce, protect, or even support Sumter, other than saying, don't surrender.
Yeah, a great summary. One thing you left out, Lincoln got to Washington only because he disguised himself as an old man.
An old man dressed with a Scottish hat and sneaking in because he was afraid he was going to get shankety shanked.
Well, he wasn't afraid, but his handlers were.
Yeah, his handlers were. Because he's like a million, and he's like, whatever. I've fought in a million fights. You're never going to beat me. On March 1st, the Confederate States of America would take control of military affairs in South Carolina, and President Davis would appoint PGT Beauregard to command the area. So. The Confederate States of America are already shitting on states' rights by saying the Confederate government is taking over South Carolina. So
I thought that was rather curious. Yeah, so they just federalized basically their army, right? Essentially.
Yes, they're essentially putting it under federal control. Major Anderson in Fort Sumter would again inform Washington that we kind of need to do something, one way or the other. You need to make a decision. I either need reinforcements, both supplies and men, and guns, or you need to let me leave, because as it stands now, if South Carolina decides to attack, or if the Confederate States decide to attack, I'm okay. I'm done. I can't do anything. I'm not.
Right. It's actually he's saying basically I have to surrender if they attack, or let me just give it to them so that I don't lose. Whatever, 12 men that are over here.
Over here with them, yep.
Or send me something that I can actually defend myself with.
But instead of doing anything, Secretary of War Joseph Holt is actually going to order that General David Twiggs is dismissed because his treachery against the flag for surrendering military posts in Texas. Thank you for that. And there are rumors in Washington, D.C. that there could be a potential rioting or assassination at Lincoln's upcoming inauguration on the 4th.
Man, wait, they're actually talking about assassinating Lincoln? Mm-hmm. They're that mad? I mean, I know they seceded and everything, but, it's not even your president anymore. Or is this talking about United States people trying to do it?
Well, this is just rumors that in D.C. there are people that are potentially going to riot, and we got to remember that D.C. is right, kind of almost not in the heart of slave states, but it's right there. Maryland's a slave state.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
For all practical purposes, in Maryland. So
So they're talking about killing them, maybe. Assassinating.
They're talking about killing him.
I'm sorry. There's apparently some sort of difference between assassinating and killing.
Yeah. On March 2nd, the provincial Congress of the Confederacy is going to in Montgomery, Alabama, admit Texas into the Confederacy as another state. So
Texas did go. All right.
So Texas is seceded officially, and now they're joining the Confederacy as another state in the Confederate States of America. So way to go, Texas, for getting your independence a second time and then squandering it away a second time. So
I just feel like Texas is never they want to be independent, but they don't have any ability to ever do so. And probably not even like 160 years in the future. Like, they probably still won't be able to do it.
President Buchanan will finally do something, and by something I mean add 2 new territories to the United States, that of Nevada and Dakota. So we've got more ground. I mean, they're territories, so they're not states yet, but it's now like the United States officially owns this area, and it's now a territory, and, you know, have at it.
Sorry, everybody already living there.
The Indians. He's also going to increase the duties from 5 to 10% on wool and iron. So yay, taxes!
Doubled them
from Buchanan. Yeah, doubled them. And Congress is going to wind up rejecting all the peace conference resolutions outright and deems it a failure. So way to waste the last 2 months on that one.
Could have seen that coming though.
A surprise. And Texas is going to seize more federal territory by seizing the federal revenue cutter of Henry Dodge. So more just open, outright attack on U.S. military. I mean, at this point, it's a naval boat. You're attacking a boat.
So they're attacking the military.
Yeah, you're like...
How are we not at war yet? With this... I mean, they're doing what they want, and we're just letting them. But we're not acknowledging that they've seceded or that they've created their own little playhouse country or anything, right? Like we're just ignoring everything they're doing.
Crazy. Yeah, we're just ignoring it all. On March 3rd, the U.S. Army Commander General Winfield Scott is going to say it's going to be a little impractical to reinforce Fort Sumter at this time, but he's going to tell Major Anderson don't retreat. Like, I can't help you, but don't retreat. Stay there. Good luck.
Does he not like him?
I don't know. And by good luck, a lot of the food stuff, because I mean, obviously you have a garrison of troops, you're going to need to feed them.
Of course.
And right now, there's nothing coming in from Union territory. There's no reinforcements. There's no supplies. There's nothing. They're actually surviving based on the goodness of South Carolina citizens who are smuggling them some food. So
everybody's kind of stuck in the middle of this whole we're seceding and becoming our own country thing. Everybody that was already living there and just like, well, okay, but they're still like, it's us.
It's still us. Well, and there's not. I mean, you got to remember, like, not everybody in the southern state voted for secession. So there are some South Carolina pro-union sympathizers, just like even here in Indiana, there are some Copperhead pro-Confederate leaning sympathizers. So.
What?
Yeah, we have
some
crazy Indiana rednecks who think it's a good idea to secede. So
I don't have them out in here.
And we're not even
where I'm digging for gold.
And we're not even a slave state, but whatever. Here we are. On March 4th, it's Inauguration Day, Johnny. We've made it. We're here. President Lincoln has arrived in Washington, D.C. President Buchanan is on his way out. President Lincoln is coming in. The day is filled with festivities. Spoiler alert, no assassination attempt, no rioting. It is all, for the most part, a celebration. We've got a new president. Yeah. There's a little bit of a somber, it's not a union anymore. I mean, some states kind of did secede.
And I'm sure people are asking him right out the gate, what are you going to do about everything? Because, hey,
yes,
you've been avoiding this during your whole, I'm not president yet, so I can't say it. Well, guess what, pal? What are we doing? We just going to let him take it?
In his inauguration speech as the 16th president of these United States, he's going to again reiterate that he had no intention of interfering with slavery where it already exists. He says that he supports any amendment that would protect slavery where it already exists. But he's going to go on to say that secession is illegal and void, that the Supreme Court has already said you can't actually secede. So
can't do it. Y'all are playing make-believe.
You're playing make-believe. And he says that so the Union isn't dissolved. You just have some people playing make-believe.
Yeah,
so,
we got,
so get over yourselves.
I'm in a different fort now, is what we have.
Again reiterating his, fake crisis, which it's clearly not a fake crisis, but he's, again, kind of calling it that.
It sounds like he's just trying to, gloss over it and make it not a big deal.
That's what he's trying to, yes.
It's an actual big deal, though, because the states that have seceded, they don't think they're playing make-believe. Yeah, they're playing for keeps, literally, of federal property.
Yeah. Now, he will go on to say Yeah, and I quote that you as in the Confederate States can have no conflict without being yourself the aggressors. You have no oath registered in heaven to destroy the government, while I have the most solemn one to preserve, protect, and defend it. What he is saying is, I will not fire first. I
Right.
will not go to war with you. I will not attack you. I will not make any aggressive moves in your direction. But if you fire at us or take federal property from us, there will be a response.
Did he say that? If they can
That's what
take
Lincoln
more
is saying.
federal property? 'Cause it sounds to me like he's saying, well, you do whatever you want until you shoot at us, and then we'll do something.
Well, that's basically Lincoln saying if you become aggressive,
it's been what we've
gonna
been
respond
doing.
in turn. True, but again, he's
all right. New president, he's actually new president, new mentality. Let's do
new
this.
president,
right.
new mentality. Saying I have faith. I have faith in Honest Abe that he's going to keep to his word. And if the Confederates show us hostility will be reinterned.
Okay, but if I do, let's pretend I do have faith in Abraham Lincoln's goal here. It's basically to peacefully rejoin the Union by saying you guys can keep your slaves and we'll be okay with that. But what you're doing is illegal, and then we'll, like, as long as you don't shoot at us, we're fine.
Yeah, he's just kind of going with the like when your toddler has a temper tantrum,
Yeah.
You're in the store getting your sweeties,
right?
And they want extra sweeties, and you tell them no, and they have a temper tantrum. You
course.
just ignore them,
right?
And you just they'll eventually stop.
Well, I pick him up by the back of the overalls and just walk him out the store. Is what I do.
Well, yes, that's I think what he's intentionally trying to do is just do that.
Just toss him into the back of the wagon.
Toss him in the back of the wagon. Now, on March 5th, after being sworn in, Lincoln would receive a letter from Major Anderson stating that Fort Sumter would need approximately 20,000 men to put up a viable defense. But before putting any new troops in, by all means, we need guns, we need bullets, we need food.
Now,
so can we have that?
They need 20,000 to defend Fort Sumter. Like, what's the Confederate States of America? What are they doing as far as building armies right now? Like, what are they right now? They just have citizens literally walking up to federal forts and be like, can I have this? And everybody's like, yeah.
So Major Anderson is, again, Fort Sumter is out in the middle of Charleston Harbor, and he is watching, is in eyesight of the shoreline, and he's watching troops building fortifications, rolling up cannons, pointing at his fort, going,
it's a problem.
This is
if it's not yet, it's gonna be.
It's not yet. It's gonna be. Like we have to do something. So he's been begging for help for the last 3 months.
Right?
Like,
yeah.
Can we please get some help here?
No.
And getting the big middle finger. Lincoln is going to confer with General Winfield Scott, who's again going to say, yeah, we have him at about a max worth of 6 weeks before we have to make some kind of decision one way or the other. They got about a max of 6 weeks before we can before they run out of supplies. So
Fort Sumter, before Fort Sumter is out, they're saying they're good for 6 more weeks.
He's like
until we have to address it. So he just put it to the bottom of the memo file.
Yeah, he's putting it to the bottom of the memo file. But on March 6th, Scott is going to come back to Lincoln and say, yeah, there's nothing the Army can do. This is a Navy problem.
Right. I mean, we can't
walk. Yeah, we can't walk supplies to them. So
what are they going to do? March on the bottom of the ocean up to them?
So he says, figure it out with the Navy, and again, it just sounds like Major Anderson is being left out to dry.
I'll tell you what, Major Anderson did something back during like his little recruiting days or something. He made somebody in power mad.
Yeah,
because this is not the kind of treatment that you give to somebody who is in distress and like as part of your Army or Navy or whatever he is.
Right? The Southern gentlemen from the Confederacy are going to attempt to get an audience with Abraham Lincoln and the new administration, but are not successful. They are turned away. They said, nope.
No, thank you.
Get out of here.
Bye.
And the week is going to end with Ringgold Barracks and Camp Verde in Texas being abandoned by the federal troops. All federal troops in Texas are going to be recalled. One of these troops, Johnny, is a man by the name of Robert E. Lee, who was actually was requested to withdraw a few weeks back, and he's going to make his way up to Washington D.C. now
Okay.
He's a lonely colonel, a lieutenant colonel of the cavalry down in Texas. So he's now looking, I guess, for his new post. He is a pretty decent military general by all accounts, second in his class at West Point.
Hey,
So
that's way better than top half of the bottom half, or top 10 of the bottom half, or whatever.
The top 10 of the bottom half, yeah. So he's got some promise to him.
Okay,
yeah,
so
we'll Robert
Lee?
E. Lee, yeah.
Robert E. Lee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Robert E. Lee.
And so he's coming up to Washington to, I guess, I assume we want him, right?
He's been recalled, so they're going to determine what to do with him, along with all those other troops from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And the last little bit of news I got for everybody is that the Missouri Convention on Secession in St. Louis is looking like they're actually going to side with the Union. Another slaveholding state that says this isn't worth it. We're pro-union.
That's right. This is the United States of America, and we're a democracy, and you accept what the people vote for.
That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and join us on Historic Hindsight, where we talk about all kinds of random historical events, including several Civil War battles.